All right, everyone, how's it going? Danny and Alex. In this video, I'm gonna answer someone's question, and the question was, what's the difference between a right straight and a right cross? Straight versus cross. We're gonna answer that right now. Okay, so basically, it's all terminology, right? But there is a variant between both, and I wanna show you guys first how to do the right straight. So the right straight, if I'm facing you guys in the camera, it's going to shoot out in a straight line. Of course, this is my right straight. Now, if I'm going to cross it over, I'm going to cross it out. So watch if I borrow Alex, what it's going to look like. So if I'm facing him here and I shoot my right straight, it's straight in. That's the straight right or right straight. Now, sometimes he might throw a jab at me. So if he throws the jab, this is the line of his jab. I don't want to stay straight in the middle. So as I move my head on the inside, boom, poof, the right straight comes in, right? So I can use that as an interception. So that's where the cross terminology will come in. Okay, so he shoots that jab, boom, that's where I catch him in. So I've dipped in, but I've also shot my counter, which is a cross. Why is it a cross now? It's the angle of my head. So the technicality comes from here. If my head is straight, for example, like this is a right straight. But if I lean into it, that changes the angle, and now I have to lean into it, and I'm crossing over using that right cross. Let's look at another example here. If he shoots that jab, this time I'm going to move to the outside. If I'm moving away from the punch, maybe with my head or even with a side step, as such, watch this, boom. It's still a right straight, but I'm crossing my arm over his arm. Arms are crossing paths, and that's the right cross, okay? So one more time here, maybe I slipped here, and then as I come back over, or sometimes I'll just use a side step as I move to the side and I cross it here. That is a right cross. Another good example is maybe on his cross. As he crosses over, see how I leaned into it? And my right hand connects. His didn't because it passed over my shoulder. So it's really important to understand it. When the people throw that right cross, a lot of times they start to lean into it. And by leaning, that brings their head, hence the chin, into the motion. And that's perfect for us because it's going to counter into the cross, which is a smashing punch. So as he throws his cross and he leans in, the more he leans, the more the button comes near my right hand. So now, as he leans in and I lean out, boom! That's the connection, and that's perfect because I don't need to throw with too much power because he leaned into the punch. So now, hence, what's the big difference between a right straight and a right cross? Basically, it's the same punch. Hey, let me tell you something. I always like to say it's a right cross even if it's a right straight or vice versa. It's just terminology. But the technicality remains that we have to understand the variance between both punches in perfect terminology, right? So the late, great Jack Dempsey once said in a book that I've read where the right cross is best known or best utilized when my opponent gets lazy with his jab, such as when I throw the jab and my chin is uncovered or unprotected on this side. For example, as I showed previously, where I'm going to connect right over the top. So if I know my reach is longer, this is where I'm going to stay, aiming, having him have that aim for my chin, but knowing he's not going to reach for it. He can't reach because I know in my mind I have a longer reach. Now if I know we have approximately the same reach or he's faster, now I have to dip my head. As he throws, whoom, I lean into it. So do you understand like where my elbow position changes? And this is what I want to get to is all punches are equal. Meaning that the techniques are basically left or right. I'm closing my fists, so I'm either hitting you with my left hand or my right hand. What changes everything is the angle of my elbow. So straight, hooks, uppercuts, or overhand, okay? So where the elbow leads, the shoulder pushes and the hand connects. So I'm connecting with the left or the right hand. So the big difference is where we're going to change the angle of our body in relation to the opponent. So once again, it's really a matter of choice. Some coaches will say right cross, cross, right straight, straight right, overhand punch. Some people even call the right hook a right cross. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it's connecting on the button, meaning the chin, okay? But I wanted to answer this question. I wanted to make this quick tutorial to show you guys and to answer a question on someone who's asked me on the channel is what's the big difference between a right straight and a right cross? And there is, if we want to get technical about it, so I wanted to answer that. I hope this answers the question, and for everyone else who wanted to know on the subject, hey, keep bringing in your questions. I have lots to answer. We have some jiu-jitsu stuff. Somebody's even questioned my knowledge about old school martial arts, and I want to answer that in the future videos. But hey, thanks for watching, guys. Leave us a thumbs up.
We'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you, Alex. Take care.